Hi everyone, this is Aman Sophia, Assistant Professor in WA Department. Welcome to WITS Connect. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about types of service means a service line. So the types of service line is nothing but which provides the electrical energy from the distribution line to the consumer premises is known as service line, or it can also be called as service connection or service mains. So this service connection can be classified into two types based on the connection. Like first one is overhead service lines and the next one is underground cable service line. Coming to the first one, overhead service line. The service line provides above the ground level is known as overhead service lines. The service line is provided with the help of an overhead line. It must be fixed with some minimum clearance above the ground, and a definite clearance must be provided from the adjacent buildings. And these conductors are made up of AAC conductor, nothing but all aluminum conductor, or it can also be made up of ACSR or hard drawn copper of different sizes. According to the load of the consumer, these overhead service lines can be classified into different types like weatherproof service lines, roof pole connection for low roof buildings, and the third one is bracket pole connection with bare conductor service line. The next classification is underground cable service line. So the service lines which provides below the ground level is known as underground cable service lines, and this type of connection is used where it is not possible to provide overhead service lines, and where it can be necessary to improve the beauty of the building. At here, low tension, that is 31/2 core cable is used for underground service line and is preferred when the power to be supplied to the consumer is about 25 kilowatts. Selection of the service line depends on the two factors, as overhead service lines as well as underground cable service lines. This overhead service line can be classified like weatherproof cable method. The first one is of weatherproof cable method. In this method is most commonly used for domestic, commercial and office purposes, where the distance between the distribution line nothing but LT pole to the customer premises is less than 40 meters. So at that we are using weatherproof cables where the distance between the LT pole to the consumer premises is less than 40 meters, and a GI wire of SWG is stretched between the service pole and GI pipe wire is raised above the roof. And the weatherproof cables thing, but we can use at here we can use the PVC cables is then brought to the buildings by clipping it to the GI wire. Weatherproof cable can withstand against atmospheric conditions like temperature, rain, dust and etc. Coming to the roof pole connection for low roof buildings. So at here, if the height of the building is very low and service brackets cannot be fixed to the walls of the building, in such condition a roof pole is provided with the cross arms for fixing insulator to which the connections are provided. You can see in the figure. The next classification is bracket pole connection with bare conductor service lines. So this method is used where it is not possible to use weatherproof cables, that is whether the distance of the distribution line is more than 40 meters. At that we are using this type of connection. So in this method a bracket is embedded into the wall at a suitable height with pin type insulator, and the bare conductor are bought from nearest LT pole and connected to the insulator. Now weatherproof cable, that is nothing but PVC cables, are connected to the bare conductor and carried through the GI pipe up to the meter board. This is about the bracket pole connection. The next classification is GI pipe service connection. So in this method, GI pipe is fixed to the wall and raised above the roof to the suitable height, and GI pipe is properly supported by means of stay wire, and the shackle insulators are fixed to the GI pipe and bare conductor, which are bought from nearest LT pole and connected to the shackle insulators. And the weatherproof cables or PVC cables are connected to the bare conductor and which carries through the from the same GI pipe up to the meter board. This is about GI pipe service connection. Now let us see the steps to estimate the internal wiring. There are different steps to estimate the internal wiring. Like first one is determination of number of circuits. So before proceed to prepare an estimate for internal wiring scheme, it is necessary for the electrical engineer to go through the plan, total point and the location. So it is a challenging job to estimate different materials comes in wiring scheme, and it is very difficult to estimate very accurate, right? So the following steps will help to estimate the wiring schemes. Like first step is determination of number of sub-circuits. The number of sub-circuit is decided as per the number of points to be wired and the total load to be connected to the supply system. The number of points to be wired may be known from the plan, and the total load can be known from the wattage of each point. The next step is determination of size of the conductor, main switch and distribution board. The size of the conductor cable depends on the current carrying capacity. The current carrying capacity can be calculated by dividing the total load voltage. Like current equals to power by voltage. But the minimum size of the cable is 1 by 1.12 mm in copper. Coming to the aluminium, we are taking it as 1 by 1.4 mm in aluminium. And the size of the main switch will depends upon the current to be controlled by it. The next step is by determination of the size and length of the conduit. The size of the conduit depends on number of wires passing through it. And the length of the conduit can be determined by going through the plan of the building, that is through horizontal run or vertical up and vertical down. The vertical up in the length of the conduit from horizontal run to ceiling, and the vertical down means is the length from horizontal run to the switchboard. The next step is determination of length of conductor cable. So the determination of length of cable is very laborious process. As a general rule, length of the cable is approximately 3 times that of the length of the conduit, out of which the phase wire is approximately double the length of that of the neutral wire. The next step is determination of earth wire. All metal parts or metal covering of all appliances should be properly earthed to avoid dangers from electrical shocks due to leakage or failure of insulation. Hence, earth wire is required for socket outlet and the main switches. Generally, we'll use GI wire of 14 SWG for earth wire. And the earth wire can be determined going through the conduit. The next one is determination of labor cost. The labor cost may be calculated on the basis of the number of points. The main board and the distribution board is taken as 2 points, and all lights, fans, socket outlets are taken as 1 point. So based on the number of points, the labor cost may be calculated, and the approximate rate of labor cost per point is 125 rupees. The next one is estimate of material and their cost. The materials and their cost can be prepared by taking the rate of each item or material separately and then totaling them. So how will calculate the cost means by drawing a tabular column like material with specification, its quantity and its rate and cost as well as remarks. So by this process will